Hello everyone, welcome to SFU. Today it's anime versus OverDrive. We have our beautiful caster Khan here, observer Khan here today, and co-caster Klimt.
How's it going? How's it going?
Right now, we're waiting for all the bands to go out, and as
Yeah, we're
always, oof, okay, lovely. So we won't be seeing the bands just yet. All right.
was it a map issue? Was it? I'm not sure. Oh, side choice.
Okay.
Are you throwing us back to break? Okay.
Great.
Well, we'll hang out and we'll wait it out then as we wait for the game to start back up.
Anyone have a nice Thursday today? Anything out of the usual?
Not too bad a class for me, and that's about it. I'm on spring break now, so I'm chilling.
Mine doesn't start till the 28th.
Ooh.
Well, technically the 26th if you want to count that weekend, but yeah. I think I have 2 weeks of spring break, so that'll be fun.
Oh, what?
We had
That's
a
kind
long
of
ass
nice.
spring break. Yeah, we got a long spring break. It's a lot of fun. While we wait for all the teams to fill in here, how y'all feel about the new season? Specifically you, Clem?
It's good. I think that the attacker repick is a interesting feature. I've messed with it a little bit on TTS, but not a lot. Not a lot of scrims with it, especially. But I've done some 10 mans and stuff, and I like the idea of it and the concept. And I think it's a cool idea. I think it's going to definitely change the way that we see Siege as a defender sided game to be a more attack sided like game, and especially with how the meta's already started to switch to that attacker sided meta, it's going to get even worse in the sense of like attacker sided. And with Goyle being gone to not having shields, that's also going to be a strong like advantage for the attackers. And with the zombie not being ready yet for the next 3 months because of the comp ban, obviously, it's gonna be interesting to say the least, I guess, on when it comes to defensive setups, because now you're going to be required to run 2 shield ops almost always.
Yeah. I mean, not necessarily always, but I get what you mean there.
At least
I
for common and recent defender setups, like if if you're doing a cafe, freezer extension, and bathroom and pixel, right? You've got all 3 shields. Well, now you got to bring 3 shields if you want to run a setup similar to that, or you got to get rid of one of those shields and then just play it with 2. And it's still even like that. It's even a little bit hard.
I
Bro,
think
run it
they
up, bro. I got
might.
the females watching right now.
Ooh, that's really loud. Okay. I'm thinking what they're gonna do is make shields more common on different operators, hopefully. Anyways, we're back in. Hopefully no rehost this time around. Alright. So map end's gonna go out here in just a second. 15 to
Yeah,
be exact.
playing good old Borgen, obviously our favorite map to ever cast on, because it's always the same thing over and over and over again. Maybe we'll see something here and there different. I played against Anime actually last week on Oregon, so I know a little bit about kind of how they like to take them up. They're very aggressive. They're super into really trying to just take those gunfights. They don't waste a lot of time, and they kind of just hop right into the fire.
Yeah, I play with Arendelle a good bit. We play a lot of rank together. He's actually a content creator for Horizon, which is the organization I'm in. We get to talk a lot. He lets me in a little bit of secrets about anime and stuff.
Yeah,
We're
they're
gonna
nope.
we're gonna see the Thatcher Nomad Kaid ban. Fairly common bans, I would say, for this map.
The Nomad definitely piques my interest a little bit just because, you know, if you really set up those flank drones and you do a good job of it, you don't really need that nomad. So I guess it's solid to get rid of as a crutch op, possibly on the side of anime, because they are kind of a pug sack and they're kind of just running around on this map. So it might be nice because then they don't have those air jabs to actually uh kind of fortify their flanks, and instead they're going to have to make sure that they're paying attention with a drone or someone gun up on those flanks.
From what I know, anime's not too heavy on their nomad anyways, but that could just be a sense of security for OverDrive so they can play a little bit heavier on their roam.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. We're going to see a laundry defense here first from the side of anime. They're looking to six pick the Thunderbird to the mute, and there's a lot of shields. Obviously, we can see in play. We have the Goyo shields, we have the smoke shield. We're going to have the Malusi wubs kind of on the stairs for some intel denial, the mute to get rid of any sort of Flores that might be coming through. But it's gonna be a hard attack, I think, for the first round. It needs to be really who hits the ground running first, whether OverDrive is able to kind of influence a strong heavy blue take, which it seems as if they're set up for that style of take on Oregon, or if they're gonna try to switch it up and go something different.
Yeah, I think OverDrive, just based off of their picks, they're gonna go top-down clear. They had the Jackal. I think they swapped it for the Thermite, I believe. Not sure why. Probably thought they were going up. But it's all good. It happens.
Well, with the
I do
attacker
like
repick,
seeing-
they would know.
Yeah.
We're not in there yet. 1 week.
That's gonna be fun.
I actually like the concept of it. I think it's gonna bring in some fresh siege, and Arendelle is already gonna start off with an early spawn pick onto Virtues. That's the Yana down. That's a lot of intel because those Gemini clones can't be used to drone extra. And on the side of OverDrive, I think they're really gonna be needing to use their drones and utilize those drones to find these roamers that are currently kind of placed up just on the tower stairs right now for anime. But I know they like to roam a lot, and so you want to make sure that you have all those roams cut off.
Definitely. That is 2 nades down as well, so that's a good bit of utility down real quick and early. We are gonna see them just kind of waiting a little bit for them to start pushing down these stairs. Arendelle over on Freezer Stair. Actually, he pushed up. Oh, wait, no, never mind. Sorry. He's basement.
He's hanging down on the freezer stairs, just peeking under that barricade, trying to get an angle onto the Z Hall, but it doesn't look like OverDrive really wants to mess with that. They're kind of just focusing on this meeting hatch, which Lek is doing a great job crafting his Maverick torch onto the wall, and that Tarp's door wall is going to be reinforced. And now there's not really an angle to clear anyone on Tarps without maybe some sort of grenade, maybe a Flores trying to push him out of there, and hopefully someone's playing gun up on that door because Tap is in a super vulnerable position, but I don't know if they're expecting him. Now Font is going to get a refrag on Arendelle, so that's the refrag from the early spawn peek in the round, and Baldera is going to end up falling back into Elbow.
A lot of action going out here just in these few seconds. They've made a lot of momentum here really quick and early. They do have a minute to work around the site. Oh!
Oh, that nade.
Missing that nade.
That nade just got a little bit too close there. I don't think that Lek was expecting for that to bounce off the wall. Now Fizz is going to make an entry pick onto Baldera. Here's where we see the execute start to come to fruition. Doe's going to get the refrag onto the Zofia, who took that elbow position, and now it's going for the attack. Doe is kind of just hanging out on the pillar position, but does get spotted out by the Flores, who drops an instant refrag by Top, but then refragged immediately by Lek, who's then refragged by F9. And it's just a flurry of refrags. And now it's down to Font in a 1v1 against the Smoke. The defuse is starting to go down. It takes 7 seconds to get it down. He's planning in laundry. Smoke on the side of pillar. Font seems to have some intel and understands that F9 is in this long hallway. Now, getting ready to play the swing here as he's going to start trying to plant again. And the Smoke is going to swing. A ping comes out, but F9's going to win it with the SMG-11. And that's a round for the defense.
What a crazy round there. OverDrive able to win that one. Or sorry, Anime able to win that round. Barely. A lot of refrags there in the last seconds of the round. And that's going to be Anime with 1 round.
Yeah, it honestly came to just making sure that you solidified those refrags, as you were saying. And OverDrive did a good job of making sure that they were getting the refrags off the rip after, their entry attacker did die. And that entry pick is kind of what sealed the round for Anime, because if there was a 5v5, I could have definitely seen OverDrive taking that round, considering they were the ones to start off with the refrag frenzy. But since they were already down a man early, it didn't really help, because now Anime was able to get their refrag solidified, and it turned into a 1v1 in which F9 was able to win it out.
Arendelle with that early spawn peak really gave Anime that one-man advantage that they needed. As you saw in that 1v1 situation, having one more player up on that board probably would have caused Anime to lose that round.
Yeah, there was a lot of intel, it seemed, for Thermite, and I'm kind of upset about how he played that situation, because with having that drone intel, it would have been, I feel like, a smarter place where they were planning originally in that laundry position to actually stick the diffuser there, let that diffuser go down, the case go down, and they could have held their laundry rotate, and since there was intel on the hallway, then they could have had that drone watching the hallway, and really would have been able to play it, I think, much safer, and made F9 go for an even more aggressive swing than they actually had to.
I agree with that. We're gonna see a pretty split push here from OverDrive. That map gonna get that attic wall real quick, get the pressure going on Baldura. Just a pretty basic push from what I can tell.
Yeah, they're very spread out here. They've got a couple on the master side, one on the armory window. You've got one at the dorm's big window, which is the Zofia. And then the Maverick is actually working all on their own in the tower. But immediately, we're talking about first picks here. And there goes Doe down to Fizzy, who's sitting on the big window waiting for a rotate. Probably caught that Malusi on a rotate somewhere in big window. And now Top's just going to get super aggressive on the big window and kind of walk up, try to get that refrag. Looks like some burn for the mute jammer?
I don't know, he con-6'd himself though. It was a little interesting.
Yeah, I'm not sure why the side of OverDrive didn't use maybe flashbangs on the Flores unless they're not running that. And I'm hoping that they're going to take care of this util that's all stacked up on the trophy door, because that's 2 ADSs and a Malusi wub. That's really going to help make it difficult for the attackers to actually foster an entry through the trophy door. And now some of the util on the big window is going to get taken out, and same with F9, who's going to be taken out peeking those big windows.
Flora showed it clear that Banshee, and it's making Font just getting shot from every angle, not able to move anywhere really.
Yeah, I think that OverDrive really is taking their attack just a little too fast, and they do have 3 flashbangs in the pocket of Skinny P. And right now, it's just looking a little lackluster on the attack. I wish they would have taken their time, used those forward runs. There goes another one. Going to blow up that wub, I believe, on the trophy door, but something else blowing up. It's that Goyo Shonatic. That won't happen next patch, but right now, it's still in the game, and Lek is going to take 50 HP from that.
Well, it'll still blow up, just not on a shield, of course.
True, true.
Okay. Left with a good shot there.
Yeah, a couple instant refrags, and we're down to a 2v2. Again, it's another situation of refrag central, and both teams just about the same HP, maybe Arendelle just a bullet less than Lek. And right now, it's going to be an entry into Attic, but Diana's going to lose it out onto the mute, but find their pick back onto the mute. Sorry, the Finka lost their fight onto the mute, I believe. Or it was the Maverick, rather. Yeah, and now, Virtuous is looking to get a plant down in Kids. There's 15 seconds left, and I don't know if he knows that Arendelle is behind him. The pre-fire comes out, but it's the wrong side, and Arendelle is going to be able to pick up that final frag.
Jimmy with a big flank there. As quiet as he could be. Worked out. Iona didn't hear him. He was able to shoot him in the back and give Anime another round. Again, another close round there, down to the 1v1 with the plant almost being down.
Yeah, I think OverDrive is doing a fine job of getting those first picks. I mean, they had a 5v3. They had that mana advantage, and they had a 2-man advantage, just to say that. And they had those forest drones, but they weren't using that utility together in unison. Skinny P, I believe, was on the floor his last round and should have been throwing those flashbangs to clear out the ADSs. You should know that there's going to be ADSs on that trophy door. and let alone 2 of them. That burns 2 nades and a Gone 6 now, just to get rid of a mute jammer so that you could drive your forest drones in to get rid of utility in the site. But they didn't get rid of the utility on that trophy door, so when the Finka tried to make an entry, she got stuck in the wub, and it ended up kind of biting OverDrive in the butt because they weren't able to get that quick, swift entry into site that they were hoping for. It was a little bit lackluster and slow, and I wish they took some more time just to make sure that they really got all that utility.
Yeah, that Banshee really messed up Finka. She wasn't able to move anywhere really. And as you saw, she was just kind of stuck and didn't know what to do. She was getting shot from, I think, 3 angles. So she was just stuck, couldn't do much. Hopefully OverDrive learns from that and starts using those flourish drones a little bit better. Start clearing more utility. Start doing a little bit more with those flourish drones.
We're talking about taking your time, and right now OverDrive has been kind of rushing these rounds just a little bit too fast. Now at the very end, obviously, it did kind of start to slow down, but that was with the 2v2. Imagine if they had all 5 maybe to have that push at the end, and it could have just been a little bit more advantageous. And we're gonna see them start to make work on the master side on this attic or this tertiary site defense, which is meeting and kitchen. Fizzy already going to find an entry frag on Arendelle. Again, doing the right thing. OverDrive just needs to make sure they take their time, drone this top floor out, find those remaining roamers, take that top control, do vertical on the site, find their way in.
Like they're just going to have instant control of upstairs here in F9. A little bit low there, took a little damage, I'm not sure from what. Oh, Baldur, I think on that flank they're able to pick up Fizzy.
Yeah, it looks like Baldra was able to just kind of catch the offense lacking, and now he's going to make their way up the white stairs, as well as the Cav looking to get aggressive here on main, possibly. And the attack is kind of starting to slow down. They're kind of just boxed in right in the master bedroom, and the Sledge is going to jump in with no intel. That's an easy frag for Baldura, but Font is going to take down F9, so it's an instant refrag. Again, we're talking about the refrag potential, and it's super high for both teams. Doe now is behind and going to go for the interrogation, looking to find, but no, is able to catch it off, but Font goes down, or is able to take out Doe. Now, with these red outlines, obviously that's not wall hacks, but that is the Cav information of the interrogation. And Baldura is getting really close to getting that floor bank down onto Font. On 1 HP, Baldura and Tap. Font needs to do more than twice his load to be able to get these last 2 defenders.
That Cav with that Intero kind of surprised me there. I didn't think she would actually go for it. It costed her her life, but she actually got it off, and they were able to get the refrag pretty quickly after.
Yeah, it was a really risky interrogation, and that interrogation takes about 3 or 4 seconds to get that knife through the throat and find out where those attackers are. And it just took a little bit too long, maybe a little bit longer than Doe was expecting. It does go down, but it gave his team some great intel, and they were able to really make work of it.
Font almost dying right there. A little bit of damage there from Tap, and not really returning much damage. Much damage in return.
Font has a couple flashbangs left to work with, and now is looking to get an entry onto the security door. Burns the Syria gate, does not know if the Rooney is there, checks the corner, but Baldura with the intel, there must have been a bulletproof because there was a little ping, and that's another round for the defense. Right now we're seeing Oregon defense really just a strong performance overall from Anime.
Baldura with 6 kills here, gonna be probably Anime's big heavy fragger, which is good because he is good at fragging, even if he has that DMR.
Yeah,
but
Baldura. Sorry, go ahead, finish out.
That was not as close as the other games or other rounds, but still pretty close towards that end.
Yeah, Baldura right now is 2 kills a round, and that's a pretty good effort, I would say, considering, you know, if every player got a frag in their round, technically you'd be winning because every player got their frag, unless there's maybe a trade or something that kind of happened and he kind of got unlucky. But Baldura is doing more than the work that they've been asked to do, and it's showing on the side of Anime.
Yeah, Anime's a really good team, I would say, even though they are just upstack that kind of got thrown together. They do play very well together. They have really skilled individual players, and it just kind of meshes well in these leagues.
Yeah, I think it shows with the way that they're so aggressive. I mean, you saw Doe go for that interrogation, knowing full well that the rest of the attack possibly could have been in that dorm's bedroom area because he knew that since some of his teammates died and some of his players died, that maybe there was, a couple more attackers, but still able to get that interrogation off and give a lot of good intel to their team.
I don't know if you saw that in basement, but when the smoke was making rotate F9, he shot the ADSs off the wall.
Oh, well, I did not see that. So that's going to be a little bit problematic for the defense because if the side of OverDrive is able to figure that out and understand that information, maybe they're able to get that elbow control just a little bit easier because that's just a couple less ADSs to burn and clear to get that shield out of elbow.
That was... I felt if I was F9, I would be crying right now. Oh, okay. Arendelle just peeking and one tap and skinny there.
Yeah, Arendelle was able to make a quick entry into the basement, but like with an immediate refrag, like we're talking about, it's these refrags just going on and on again. But the thing is, what's it worth? Arendelle, they did put down their utility, even if it got shotgunned by F9. Their utility's down, their barbed wire's down, maybe there's an ADS hanging out somewhere else. Skinny P didn't get to throw any of those Selma charges, and that's a big takedown, especially because it's going to slow down the attack. Now, they still do have the Maverick, so they have some sort of form of that hard breach destruction, but it's a much slower, and it definitely does not make as big of holes and not able to kind of fill that void that the Ace has.
Ace is a very versatile operator, except when it comes to hatches, of course. But he would be... I think he is quicker than just Mavericking, unless you're a really good Maverick, then it might be around the same speed. But Doe's still just hanging out here in T3. He hasn't really moved at all. I don't know if he's going to do that late rotate or not.
Yeah, Doe not being spotted out here by OverDrive is really possibly going to punish them. Fawn's able to get a frag here onto tap. That's the Goyo down. That's the C4 down. The Goyo's going to run over Fawn, and now they're on tower stairs. The Yatako goes down, and Doe might be able to just retreat back to site. It looks like they're just trying to get back into that blue extension over there. And the side of OverDrive is going to have to re-drone this guy who's just hanging out on tarts.
Doe Ramadash, the poor Flores there. Okay.
And Doe's able to kind of swing around, get down onto the Zofia, but does not confirm that kill. That means she is revivable by the Maverick, who is going to make that rose happen in blue. Baldura just kind of playing it safe. Close on the elbow now, getting ready to get aggressive and swing. Takes out the Zofia, the Maverick swing comes out, does not find the shots. Baldura wins it out, going to get that 1v2, 1vx clutch pickup, and that's another round that really should have gone the way of OverDrive, but Anime just able to win their ones and find another way out of an ugly situation.
Aldra is definitely a very skilled player, as you saw. He was just swinging and hitting every shot. Ledge just not able to get that headshot, which would have been vital for that situation. But again, another close-ish round there.
Yeah, it was definitely a close round, and now we're going to start to see, again, that site rotation. We're back to dorms. It was a round that OverDrive really could have won, but didn't because they ran out of time and they didn't use their they weren't slow on their clear. They tried to go a little bit too fast, rushed it, didn't clear the utility, didn't check off all those boxes, and that punished them for it. So hopefully they can learn from that last dorms attack. What can we do different? What can we clear different? What stopped us from really getting those big entry kills?
I think the Capcan here is definitely a good play. It might catch them off guard because they're not too drone heavy, as we saw that Ors is able just to drop down from T3 and for Remadash someone to get away with it.
There's definitely been some lackluster droning on the side of OverDrive. They've not been checking those boxes when it comes to droning, or they've not been helping each other when it comes to droning. You're going to see 3 Capcan traps on this Trophy Master door here, and if any attacker dares walk through that, they're going to definitely lose their life.
I think that Doe is hoping to get a little lucky there. I doubt OverDrive's going to actually die to it. I would hope not. I pray not.
Yeah, there's a lot of master aggression, but it seems like a very aggressive tower take now. It seems as if OverDrive has started to want a tower take, but they can't do that anymore because the Maverick's gone down. No one's holding the drone, and Arendelle just walks up the stairs, takes out the Maverick, repelling in carelessly, and that's another first pick down. But Font is going to immediately, again, a refrag onto Doe. Now Skinny P is going to start to work this master wall. It's open already, which is really good timing and pacing for the attack. Font another couple bullets here on this Gen repel, looking to get aggressive onto the Goya.
I think OverDrive is a little too confident in the way that they push because they aren't droning out simple things really. Because if they would have just had a drone on tower, that would have been their Maverick still up.
Yeah, if they had someone maybe pre-placing that drone, holding that drone, someone needs to watch that so that the Maverick can enter freely without that Jaeger just creeping up the stairs and winning that fight. You know, it is unfortunate to lose that Maverick so early because he's so vital to this attic side push. But now, both hard breachers are down, and the only wall that's been opened is that master wall. Arendelle is going to just swing away with the pistol because why not? You're already up 4v1 or 4v2. Let's just finish out more. Now, Virtues is able to get a kill on Arendelle, who just kind of runs out the master door, and this is where you see the aggressive anime. But is it too aggressive? They're starting to throw bodies, and now it's a 2v1, a very winnable situation for Virtues, who's going to get shot through the floor over it. Aid comes through the floor. He's going to try to find a way to rotate out to Z here.
I think Virtues might have a slight chance here because they're just throwing bodies, and it looks like Baldura is going to close it out with a pretty good shot, actually.
Yeah, Prone's out on Canadian, but a little bit further forward than where Canadian lied just a few years ago. And is able to find that frag onto the final player. And I hate to say it, but OverDrive, you just need to make sure that you are establishing those pre-placed drones. I think that their attacks have good structure and they have a good formulated plan, but they're not executing the attacks because they can't even get in the building without dying because they don't have those vital pre-placed drones to be able to get in.
Just from the top-down view, I can see that they play good together. They just struggle with having someone on cams at any point, really, because these guys are able just to run up behind them, get a kill, and run right back.
Need to locate and defuse bombs.
Yeah, the frags just come out super quick from anime, and they're super aggressive, which does make sense because their roster is built out of 5 kind of just frag-based players. And these players are all really strong when it comes to that mechanical gun skill, and that's what they're taking advantage of right now.
I definitely see what you mean there. I know these are individually really great players, but I don't think that OverDrive should be losing as many rounds as they have.
10 seconds remaining.
I believe if they just work those drones, clear that utility,
5 seconds left before
just
insertion.
play a little bit more together, they can definitely be beating anime here.
Yeah, what scares me about OverDrive is they seem to get a little too antsy. They have that advantage. They get that first pick sometimes, right? A couple of the rounds we've seen, they even had it down to a 5v3. But they get too antsy. They want to walk in. The Finka wants to walk in. The Flores wants to walk in. They don't want to use their utility together, and it ends up kind of costing them. Now, a quick garage entry is going to come out, and shots are already going to be exchanged between these two teams. It's only been 20 seconds through the attack phase, and Lekken's already down just a quarter of his HP.
I do have that Finka though to bring them back up to around full HP, but that is a good bit of damage taken just getting inside the building.
That is a great point. Those the nano boosts, the nanobots that are healing. There you go. You're going to see it come out. And Leica's almost back to full HP just because of that. The entry into security comes out. And Skinny P, who's on the Thermite, the hard support, is going to take that inner Fragmite to fruition and find a frag on a Baldura. Now, Doe looking to get aggressive in his security. Finds one on the buck, but instantly refragged by the Fragmite. Now, again, refrag central. Virtues is able to get one top, able to refrag. And now we're in a 2v2. The Fink is going to heal herself just a little bit. Find a little bit more of that HP back. And Virtues just kind of separate on the opposite sides of the map. Virtue's gonna find their way into kitchen, but immediately fragged out by Top. And now Font, who's in a 1v2 here on this final attack round, needs to try to make something work because going down 6-0 in one half, even if it's defender-sided Oregon, it's not gonna be easy to get those 6 rounds back.
I have seen a game similar to this that I've actually casted. It was 6 or 5-1, and it swapped, and they brought it to OT, which was pretty crazy. We'll see if OverDrive's able to do that here. Maybe they'll be able to win the round, but I don't have high hopes as the way that they're positioned right now.
Going down 6-0, and now the defenders have spotted the diffuser out in Z Hall. Font checking all the corners, nooks, and crannies. Gonna look for those footprints. Those yellow footprints are gonna identify, I believe, 4 scans that Font is gonna be able to use to find the Jaeger. And the Jaeger just kind of sprinted around in Z. Font's looking to find where that Jaeger might be hiding. A pre-fire might come out because he has the pings, and he is going to win that fight onto the Jaeger. And now it's effectively a 1v1. There's 40 seconds left. A lot of time for Font to drone, maybe find the last player in F9.
He does have a drone in pocket, so he could use this to advantage to at least just see F9 and start putting some pressure. He also does have the feet still up, I believe. Oh, okay.
Font is just going to walk up, and with that game sense, figure out that the mute's maybe hiding in freezer with that pump shotgun, and certainly he was. Font's gonna swing out and take out the mute because that C7E is just so strong, especially in those close range, mid range gunfights. That gun melts people, and Font was able to melt just a couple of the defenders and ended up pulling back around for OverDrive that they really should have lost.
I think Anime got a little too aggressive, especially Tap there, kind of just swinging out and about, getting picked off, especially since they had the defuser and they were positioned in a pretty good spot, but the Font there was just able to push in, drop that Jaeger, and then just barely catch that mute on the stairs.
Yeah, Tat must have been feeling a little bit confident because they had a lot of frags that last round. They were able to stop 2 crucial defenders within the bomb site, or attackers within the bomb site itself, and maybe that's why they chose to swing it, but it just wasn't worth it. They didn't get the frag, they didn't find that last pick, and eventually leaving that mute in the 1v1, the SMG-11, and maybe it's just too tough to control for F9. He wanted that shotgun kill. Those pellets are usually fairly reliable, but not even getting a chance to use them because simply the game sense came out from Font.
Drive setup here is a little bit different than what we normally see, at least for E-Box side. I think they might play a shield there on Shaiko. They do have a shield. Okay, yeah. I see how they're gonna set this up. It's a little bit different. I like different. And it looks like F9 and Tarp are just gonna be, or Tap, sorry, is just gonna be pushing in through blue.
Very open, exposed, and it looks like a 4-man take possibly through blue here. F9, Tap, Baldra, Arendelle, and Doe just kind of hanging out on a drone. Maybe they're just chilling in spawn, leisurely hanging out. They're F9 finally going to figure out that the bomb site is downstairs with that drone and laundry. The opposite wall of E-Box is actually reinforced, which is going to make it a little bit harder for defenders to play within that position.
That's what I was talking about earlier, how they have it set up weird. If I had the head holes on that Shaiko wall there, I would have put the head holes on the other side, that way you can hold it from that shield, but I'm not too sure.
I agree. I thought we may have seen that the entire wall would get opened up, and now we're going to see these frag grenades start to come out. ADSs are going to be catching these grenades, and the Fink is just going to walk in but completely ignore the Elbow player. And like, Fizzy now going to find one onto top, and it's just quick frags going out. A lot of actions taking place. The flank from Laundry goes down too, and all of a sudden it's Arendelle who's just hanging out on the tower stairs in a 1v3, effectively because Font has been put down onto the floor.
Font is going to get picked back up, putting him in a 1v4 with a DMR.
Yeah, Dokubi here does have 3 flashbangs. A Nitro Cell comes out from the defense, but I think there's still going to be some smoke grenades in pocket. Maybe no nades, but the mute is going to swing out and just get super aggressive, throwing bodies, kind of like what the attack or what the side of Anime was doing on their defense. Now, it seems as if OverDrive's trying to pull out and match that same aggression.
OverDrive definitely a lot more aggressive on that defense than what they were on their offense. Well, maybe not as much, because as you said, they were pushing in really quick and just not really droning as much. So I think they're aggressive players. They just don't play aggressive together.
Yeah, this is the aggression of anime. They're starting to get confident. I mean, they've taken 5 rounds on their defense. They've got a couple extra rounds to play with on attack. But how long until you get back to that grind set to where you get serious with what you're doing? Because anime only has 3 rounds left to play with until effectively OverDrive could tie this game back up, possibly send it in the OT, or even win just straight out 7-5.
I think Anime definitely could win 7-2 here if they start playing more together and not just run in as you saw before. Because they just kind of walked right in their holds and got picked off real quick, and not really too many refrags.
Yeah, and I want to point out the sides, at least the defensive side of both teams, looked very similar to each other. I mean, you have the Goyo, the Mute, the Smoke, the Rooney, the Jaeger. Both teams have an understanding of how to defensively set up this map, and maybe that's why that they can't break each other's setups, is because they're running the same kind of defense, and it's a very good defense for this map because you have the Rooney gates to burn, you have the Goyo shields to burn and clear, that Smoke has a shield to clear. It's a lot of stuff to get rid of, and a very aggressive and quick master take is coming out from Anime.
I think what Anime is going to do here is just clear all utility with that Flores drone and just hit them really hard all at once.
Yeah, there's a lot of setup going on still from the set of OverDrive, who finally is going to finish setting up that armory wall. And Lek barely escapes with their life, but now Font's able to get a kill with that angle setup from the top armory stairs onto Doe. That's the Sophia down. That's a lot of utility. You have 2 Sophia concussion impacts, as well as 2 actual physical impacts. And now Virtues is going to get a frag onto Arundel. There goes the Twitch. That F2 no longer in play. Those 2 shock drones not able to clear that utility. You're going to have to rely on the Finken nade, maybe through the gen window or from below, to be able to clear that util on the wall.
Busy got picked off really quickly. Arundel, Ledge was able to get that refrag real quick, putting them in a 4v3. Anime not really able to push too much into their defense, and it looks like there's going to be a trade.
A trade out indeed between the DMR of Aruni and Baldrua's AR-33. That's, again, the floor is down. Those Rotero drones no longer in play. It's still 1:20 left, and we're down to a 3v2. The aggression from Anime is being matched by OverDrive, and honestly, they're kind of losing it. Tap is just going to walk in, and F9 not able to cover from the window. Skinny P is able to find that Ace trying to walk in, get aggressive onto the kids' dorms, but not able to find anything with it. And now they leave F9 in a 1v3, who has not found many frags this game.
Mine definitely having not the best game of his life here, but they are winning, so I can't really put too much on him. He is going to get tagged up really good there from game's window.
Yeah, a lot of HP comes out because the Mute getting a Crescent on the game's window, and now effectively runs all the way out. Just a little bit of HP left, and Lek is going to finish it off on the main stairs. Again, you see OverDrive kind of doing the same thing that Anime was doing on their defense, where they throw those bodies, but it's working for them. And just as it worked for Anime a couple rounds, now it's working for OverDrive. It's 5-3, and we're seeing a meeting kitchen defense. If OverDrive wins this round, this match might be closer than we think.
This might become an OT game. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised the way that it's going now. OverDrive, really aggressive on their defenses. Anime, really aggressive on their defenses. It's just OverDrive's not as heavy on that roam game as Anime once was.
Yeah, OverDrive definitely not as aggressive on their attacks, and that's why they didn't really find a lot. But Anime, on the other hand, is extremely aggressive on their attacks, and they're not finding attacks either. So there needs to be this sense of balance, whether OverDrive is just so good at being able to fend off those aggressive attacks, but can't actually formulate it themselves. And Anime is so good at being aggressive on attack or on defense and being able to stop those slow, methodical attacks, but cannot get that strong iron, rock solid defense that's kind of being played out by OverDrive.
I think it's about the same problem here as OverDrive was having.
10
Is
seconds
that
remaining.
enemy's not really clearing utility at all.
Attackers have located
They're just
a bomb.
walking in and hoping to
5
catch
seconds to
OverDrive
insertion.
off guard.
Yeah, OverDrive setups have been definitely catching anime off
Attackers are
guard. I
heading
mean,
out
the
to
Zofia
defuse
went
bombs.
down early to those head holes on the top armory stairs, and maybe they just didn't have the intel to understand that there was I think it was the Aruni that was playing at the top of those stairs. So they just need to make sure that they're finding those few things and picking apart that defense so that they can understand what they're exactly walking into when they decide to blindly walk into a room, because it's anime esports and they're aggressive. Now, we're seeing a a 5-man tower, small tower take, and there's not a lot of defense right now to stop this push. Kitchen only has the mute, who's just gonna leave. And now, unless that kitchen hatch is open, it's kind of just a free site to walk into.
I think enemy might realize this here in a sec, that they're just going to be able to push in. That hatch is open, but no one's holding it as of right now.
Yeah, they're starting to work on the dining wall here, and Wamai makes their way back in the site, and it's going to provide just a little bit of time for the defenders to get to the hatch. F9's going to start off the kill fest with a frag onto Lek, and a lot of damage has been taken by the attack. Doe is down to just a sliver of HP, F9 to a sliver of HP, and Baldura goes down. The diffuser drops on the floor after they open up the wall, and now it seems like Anime is starting to make a rotate.
Fizzy getting a really good shot right there.
Bomb diffuser has been
Fizzy with 3 now.
We're back to what we're talking to. It's refrag central. Fizzy with a bunch of kills here and just able to win their ones. Doe is just on 1 HP here. Any bullet from either its defender, whether it's that DMR of the Aruni or that the AUG of Fizzy, is going to drop them. But instead, they're going to get aggressive. Fizzy's going to find a 4th on the round and able to win it out for their team. It's getting close, Beans.
Yeah, OverDrive almost throwing it, that Aruni dropping the hatch for no reason there. Thankfully, Fizzy was able to win that gunfight right there, but it was pretty close to losing that. I don't know if you saw, it was right beside his head.
Yeah, Doe nearly able to line it up, but maybe just a little bit more aim labs before the game, and they might have been able to hit that one. Unfortunately for the side of Anime, they've thrown 3 rounds, and with that 5-1 lead on defense, OverDrive has just chopped and chopped and chopped away at that lead, and now they've made it back to 5-4, a very, very winnable side, especially defending on Oregon.
This is what we commonly see with Oregon, especially with OverDrive, is that their defenses are very back and forth with many teams I've casted them
Attackers
play
need to
on Oregon.
locate and defuse bombs.
It's more of just a standstill, because OverDrive can hold those defenses really well, but not so much on their attack.
Anime
OverDrive.
Esports is looking a little lackluster on these attacks here, and they need to figure something out and do it quick. Maybe a tactical timeout, maybe a tactical pause might just help them figure out what they want to do to dismantle this defensive OverDrive. I think Anime Esports has had the better gun skill this match, but Fizzy is starting to heat up and match that. Font's been on 11 kills right now, and they've been kind of going crazy. And honestly, the kills are pretty even across the board. It's 10 for both teams have a player with 10 kills, 11 kills, a couple with 6, one with 4, and one with 5. So honestly, the spread is pretty even, and that's why we're seeing this game go kind of even.
I would say that if Anime started working together and heavier on the drones, as you saw in Kitchen, they know that site was completely open, but they didn't have intel on who was where, what was happening. They just kind of ran in to hope for the best.
This is something I'm not a big fan of. The Fika was just kind of hanging out and waiting for someone to drone them in. And it didn't seem like there was a drone coming in. And now Baldra is just going to kind of slowly work on that, the blue kind of construction area. And it seems like it's crouch walking simulator for the attack, because they're all trying to get in and find some of this intel. Doe is upstairs, kind of crouch walking like a little goblin upstairs. In the dorms area, not going to find any defenders up there, though, because OverDrive, with that strong iron defense, has been stopping the rush so often. They've got all 5 on site.
Arendelle just left mouse button, almost able to pick up that mute there.
Yeah, they nearly found the mute, but instead lost more HP than they were actually able to dish out, because none of the defenders have been hurt yet. That Finka boost saving Arendelle just a little bit of HP. maybe an extra 20 or so, and we'd see Arendelle under 50 HP. But thankfully, that Finka boost, the Nano Surge, is there, and they're able to retain a little bit of that HP. Doe is trying to find a way to make these main stairs work out. A main push we have not seen yet here on Oregon today, but he's going to start to try to find something out of this.
As you can see, enemies a lot slower than what OverDrive was on their attacks. It's a minute in, and they just got at them.
And Virtues is able to find that first frag, and that is so crucial to slowing down this attack of Anime. They're so aggressive, but all of a sudden they've lost a body. And now, Baldra is able to get a refrag onto Fizzy and find another on the Font, who goes down in the long hallway. Virtue's going to quickly pick up their teammates so that they can't lose any more bodies, and it's going to be a 4v4 with just Font on just a sliver of HP, who's really been the top performer for OverDrive.
Looks like they are going to be using that aggression there and just kind of pushing in, slowing down a little bit as they don't want to get too aggressive here.
There's 30 seconds left, and Anime needs to start to work their way into the objective. There's a lot of shots coming out between both teams, and OverDrive has definitely felt the burden of that attack. A lot of damage taken, and Font's not able to find a shot to connect onto the Zofia. Top's going to run in and go for this plant. The smoke isn't finding him. The C4 comes out, does not find him, and Top's able to get to the default corner. There's not a lot of coverage, though. If they're able to stop that plant from getting down, it might just be a round over. But Virtues is going to swing. Does not know that the diffuser's coming behind him. Anime is going to win out the round in a cluster and chaos, I would say, the end of that round.
If the mute would have just looked over, that would have been a round there for OverDrive. That was a little bit not as close as we've seen before, but still down to that 1v3 situation. And it is match point.
Yeah, if the mute maybe had a rear view mirror or a backup camera, they might have been able to catch that plant just going down behind them on that supply corner, where we see as kind of a secondary plant option that came out because that C4 and the smoke gas grenade came out and did so much damage to Tap.
We're gonna see another Wamai pickup. I think I could have seen a dock play right there, but looks like OverDrive didn't want to, and is just gonna stick with Wamai as they've done before.
Yeah, and they've
Yeah.
kind of kept the same theory of operators, and the Wamai and Goyo sometimes switch in for each other, but other than that, they kind of kept the same lineup stacked, and now they're back on their Dorms defense.
As we've seen before, their games and dorms defense, or sorry, kids and dorms defense is pretty good for the most part. They're able to hold a lot of solid angles and completely stop Anime and their tracks. And Anime also able to do the same to OverDrive on their defense.
Yeah, OverDrive's able to kind of set up that armory wall the same way that they had last time and make sure they maintain that aggression onto Anime's push and slow down that take from Anime. They're gonna probably find themselves another round and throw themselves onto the 6-5 match point instead of being down 6-4, which will be definitely much more manageable and definitely a better chance of OverDrive being able to send this map into OT.
Looks like we are gonna see Doe solo entry, and the rest is gonna be a 4-man master push, which I think is probably not the play here because they're just gonna be stomped by the same angles as before.
Doe is lurking in the basement, and they are crouch walking, no drones, just face checking everything. They're trying to find a pick, being sneaky, and Font is able to take down Arendelle, who just sprints kind of mindlessly into the front door. And this is another issue we're talking about. The util and the knowledge of droning just kind of lacking right now. There's not enough information on the side of Anime, and OverDrive is winning that game by just sitting in random corners and able to catch the attack, or the defense, or the attack rather, off guard.
Yeah, Anime, as you saw, just not able to drone as much as they should have been. And that's Arendelle down, that's their IQ.
Now, Doe, who was making that entry through the basement, able to find a pick onto the Jaeger of Skinny Beat, what I believe was playing over on that small tower side. And there you see Doe just on those white stairs, already super close and aggressive. Actually, I think they're hanging out in the basement because Font and him would definitely have made an engagement had he actually been hanging out on those white stairs.
Aunt just kind of holding angles here, waiting for Doe to make a move, and Doe, I think, is just going to back down, rotate up to tower, help his team push up here.
Doe has left entirely, and F9 wants to get this mute jammer off the wall so that they can open up the that static wall with that hard breach charge. And now both teams have definitely taken the sides of damage from each. And that's going to be F9 going down. That's the hard breach charge gone off the 0, but it's still hanging out on that wall. So if that mute jammer gets taken out, they still might be able to get that wall open. But the attack is focused on a trophy push now.
At well, my disc blinding their teammates there.
The util clear is rough right now from the side of OverDrive. I mean, everything has been dumped into this door. Smoke grenades are getting thrown back, and it's just a trade, a volley, you might say, of throwables because those flashbangs have been sucked up by the one Midas, and finally the shield is able to be cleared. You see the Flores drone start to get utilized in the round, but is it too late? There's only 15 seconds. They need to find a way into the site here. All three are going to have to pressure this door, and there's a C4 just hanging out above. Doe's going to walk in. Drone's gonna blow up. Lekken's gonna get a frag. The C4 is gonna blow up. Virtues is gonna find another frag after that C4 going boom. And that's an easy win for the defenders.
It's gonna be a 6-5 here. OverDrive might be able to take this into OT. We're gonna give them at least a point.
Now, we did see Anime win out the laundry attack last time. OverDrive was not able to stall out just enough time because the diffuser was being stuck on those double zeros. Had the mute turned around, we might see a different story where it would be 6-5 in the favor of OverDrive and the meeting kitchen site being defended. Instead, we're back to laundry, and Anime Esports needs to repeat to win this round. OverDrive needs to make just a couple slight adjustments to be able to take it into overtime.
I think Anime working together, pushing down that pillar stair, was definitely the downfall of OverDrive.
Defenders, protect your
But if
bombs.
OverDrive can just hold their angles and wait for Anime, because Anime's swinging, this is a very aggressive team. They're gonna swing with pride. So OverDrive just sit and waits. They're gonna be able to get those kills really early on.
And speaking of that last basement defense round, we saw that there was no big roam coming out from OverDrive. And Anime still almost ran out of time. So now imagine maybe if OverDrive had one player just kind of hanging out upstairs, shooting a couple of drones, it might just delay enough time to stop the attack from being able to get into the objective. So I'd like to see them maybe make that adjustment. And that might just help them leapfrog Anime in this round to bring it to OT.
Normally, what I've seen with OverDrive is they bring that Goyo and play that Goyo shield onto those freezer head holes, which has definitely helped them a lot in the past. But as we see, they aren't bringing that Goyo, which not necessarily necessary because of Anime just going for a full tower push.
Yeah. OverDrive has decided to go to this theory of how much stuff can we bring to stop Anime from burning our utility. And we saw it work last round in dorms. I mean, there was so much thrown with 3 flashbangs, a couple nades, and Flores drones. I mean, everything was getting thrown into that master door, or that trophy door rather, into the bomb site of dorms. But they weren't able to find any utility until the Gone 6 came out. Now, Arendelle is already down here in the Harry Potter position and now able to take over. That's Fizzy down, and that's a big entry frag. Arendelle has a lot of control here. The Aruni swing comes out, and there's a trade of DBNOs. But the Aruni might just be safe enough to take back up. But he's going to find a frag onto tap. But Valdra is going to walk in, die, and get a frag on the leg. But Doe's going to fall down. Virtues goes down, or is able to take out Valdra. And now it's essentially a 2v1. But if Font gets res, which they just have, it's now a 3v1. And F9 is just stuck here on the tower stairs.
I think this is going to be an OT game unless F9 can really pull something out here.
Yeah, F9 has definitely been an underperformer on the side of Anime, and they really need to clutch up if they want this game to end now. If we go into OT, I don't know how confident I could say that Anime will finish it out and be able to win. I think OverDrive has side choice, and there goes F9 down to Font, who was rezzed earlier in the hallway because Sophia could not confirm her DBNO and ended up getting DBNO'd herself. We're in OT, Beans, and this map has taken a big plot twist.
Yeah, OverDrive bringing that 1-5 to a 6-6. I'm thinking it's going to be a tactical timeout, and appears it's not going to be. This would be the time for a tactical timeout on the side of anime, just to get their thought process on how they're going to be able to defend this.
Overdrive has clawed their way back, Beans, and we've seen this through a variety of different defenses and different attacks coming out from anime. I mean, the same kind of purpose comes out where they're trying to just be aggressive and take quickly, but Overdrive is just kind of figuring it out.
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many bombs as they can.
I'm hoping OverDrive will learn from their mistakes and start droning a lot heavier. Start working together on clearing that utility real quick. That way they're able to push in with ease. They are bringing that Malusi again, so if they don't clear this utility like before, it's going to hurt them.
Now, anime does have the defensive strong side starting on OT here, and Overdrive is looking to make sure that they can really find a way into the site. I mean, they've really struggled to even get near the objective to get a plant down. And anime, they've been so aggressive on defense that it's been working for them. So Overdrive needs to find a way to tame that defense, tame that roam that anime is so aggressive in, those spawn peeks, the jump outs, the run outs, everything that anime has been bringing to the table. And if they're able to do that, they're able to get the round.
Looks like Arundel's going to be playing that basement, hopefully to catch someone off guard maybe, or just get that roam there.
Ooh, there are some risky rotations being taken by the side of anime, and there goes Doe. Down again. We saw this just a few rounds ago when it was about 3-0 for the side of anime, who had won their first Dorms defense because Doe went down early, and if time goes to tell, maybe we'll see another pick from the side of Overdrive, maybe Fizzy on that big window. And it might turn into a 5v3, and we'll see if Overdrive can convert that same kind of story.
You have wall open really quick, and they are going to drone it out. Virtue's not droning out, that's for sure. Virtue able to get picked off really quick right there. That's going to bring it to a 4v4.
This is the problem with self-droning. Virtues droned themselves all the way into that Z-Hall, had all of it clear, but no one was taken behind the drone, which means someone else was able to rotate to position to cut off Virtues. Now, maybe they knew that all the way up to Z-Hall was clear when they started droning it, but once they got off that drone, Arundel made a rotate in the meeting split and was able to catch the Yana off guard entering that front door.
It looks like Font and Skinny not able to do much pushing here. They're just kind of stuck between Baldura.
The Attic trophy wall has been opened up, and Leg is going to have a free entry into Attic. The defense is pinned down in the objective. They're all hanging near. You got Baldra close left of the trophy door here on the bookshelf, and Font's going to find a frag immediately on the F9. Now Skinny P looking to get aggressive, and a lot of swings coming out from the defense. Tap is able to find a frag on the Leg, and we're in a 2v2. Fizzy just on a small amount of HP, but Skinny P with a nice shot onto the mute at the top dorm stairs, and Tap is alone in a 1v2 in Attic.
Attackers have located
That was a really risky push there from Baldra, and it ended up not being the right play, as you saw.
Fizzy is able to find that final frag onto the mute, and we're down to match point OT. The defense has prevailed every round so far, other than 2, and now 3. Overdrive able to get a round win here on Dorms, and is it too little, too late? Anime Esports, they've thrown a 5-1 lead. They are on the less advantageous side of attack on Oregon. There's no timeout to come to fruition. There's nothing to talk about. They need to get to business and get business done. It's getting dicey here, and they've only got one round that they to be able to bring it back, and then another round to be able to win it.
It looks like chat's going to be used very interestingly here by Fizzy and one other.
Defused by attackers.
But anyways, moving on to the game. It is OverDrive able to win their second attack. Something Anime wasn't able to do to put them in the lead here. I'm hoping
OverDrive.
OverDrive is able to just turtle into sight, that setup, bear down, and win that last round.
OverDrive is on a roll right now. They got that moral high. They got the mental high. The mentals are chilling right now on the side of OverDrive. I mean, they've won 5 attack rounds in a row, or 5 attack rounds to come back. Eventually, you know,
5 seconds.
a 6th now, or rather, they were on defense and they won those rounds. And then now they transitioned that into their attack on OT. And now they're back on defense. They've been strong on this side before, and since they've been on more defense more recently, they've performed really well. Another aggressive downstairs elbow take by Anime, and it seems like it's just kind of the same thing over and over again, and they're beating a dead horse by pushing this side.
I'm not too sure what Anime is planning. They've done this push, I think, 3 times now, and it's never worked out for them. I mean, maybe they're planning to just push it as hard as possible with that aggressive playstyle, and win out some frags here, maybe.
Bomb located by
Now
That
they
is-
did. Oh, go ahead.
That is Ledge's shield down. That's gonna make it a little bit easier just to push it in really quick and easy.
That elbow shield does go down to the mute. And just a few rounds ago, Anime was able to win a basement attack here. So it's odd to see OverDrive choose to like this site rather than Dorms, where they've been perfect so far. However, the attack entry has started to come in, and there goes down Font, a big performer on the side of OverDrive. And Doe is going to get aggressive and find Fizzy. That's 2 big performers. Virtue's just lit down to a sliver of HP as well. And the side of OverDrive is falling down. They need to find these frags back. It's a 5v3 in Anime. Their aggression is being matched. Virtue's in such an exposed position, but is it expected by Anime?
OverDrive here, down 2 players, not really able to do much momentum. The Virtues here might be the winning player.
Attackers recovered the bomb diffuser.
Virtues is just hiding. The diffuser's going down, and they have no clue. He's just hiding on the single wall. The Ash might not know where they died from, but Arendelle is able to swing, find Virtues. The tower flank goes down, and I mean, the mute just hung out there, and that could have been ugly for Anime. Maybe if there was just a couple more bodies up for the side of OverDrive, but they all fell down, and all of a sudden we're seeing an attacker side in Oregon in OT.
I'm not sure what's going on here. They completely flipped the what's the word?
The script.
Completely flipped the expectations. Defense was always winning before. Now it's just offense is the only one winning.
And I wonder if it has something to do with just the aggression. Both teams start to figure each other out and understand that, hey, the defenses are kind of the same thing over and over again. And they're making these small attacking adjustments. And these adjustments are starting to kind of show through. Now, I hate
Defenders,
say it,
protect your
but
bombs from being defused by
we're
attackers.
on a laundry defense by Anime, I believe. They should be defending the laundry site here. And OverDrive has not had really any great luck with attacking this objective. It's going to be hard for them to win this round out. And unless they're able to take down some of those aggressive players like Arendelle and Baldura, who have just been absolutely popping off. I mean, 17 kills on the side of Arendelle, 16 for Baldura. They're kind of dragging Anime through the mud right now, and Doe's looking to get aggressive and spawn pick a couple drones.
I think Doe getting those drones early on is going to be very big for him, especially
5
since he is
seconds to
visual.
insertion.
That they're just not going to be able to drone this roam going on.
Attackers objective
But
is to
I
locate a
think
bomb
he's going to
and
be
defuse
playing
it.
up here in
Defender exposed.
tower, maybe T3, as you've seen him do before, except with the Oryx.
Yeah, the denial game and the intel game has been extremely visible this game, I guess you could say. There's been a lot of drones that have been used and a lot of drones that haven't been used, and sometimes they're just not being used in the right places. Now, Arendelle's going to find their way up the tower stairs here, and they're on the upper plot, which means they're kind of playing their life. Fizzy does know of Arendelle's position, and unless there's someone to play refrag here for him, Arendelle might be able to make a rotate out into attic, but they might just be playing for this fight here.
As long as Arendelle doesn't go to T3, he should be pretty safe here, and he is going to rotate into Attic, wasting a little bit of time.
Yeah, OverDrive is kind of waiting for these defenders to fall back. They're slowly doing this top-down take, and there goes the first defender. It's Font taking down Arendelle, and that's an early pick. But Doe, has he been spotted out here in the shower hall? It seems as if so. And they're going to take a lot of damage, and they're cut off over on the small tower side of the map. They need to win this frag fight on the sledge so that they can find their way back to the objective. But an early freezer aggression is going to come out, and Baldra, who's been the hero for the team so far because Arendelle's down, gets another frag and ties the top frag on their team with 17.
I don't know if Virtues knows about Dove and Server here. We'll see, but Joe might be in a really good position to get another frag for Anime.
Yeah, and here comes Virtues now starting to drown out security and finds the Vigil. And the Vigil's going to sprint out very aggressively into Z. And the Yana gun up, barely. Toe is barely able to get out with their life and gets back to Freezer just safely. And effectively, 2 minutes have been wasted and one body on each side of the map. But now there's 2 bodies down because Virtues is finally able to get the revenge on that on the Vigil. And the Vigil goes down. But Fizzy falls to that Vector. The 9x19 weapon, it's gonna do a lot of damage. And Baldra is doing a lot of damage because he's getting those headshots and the body shots. It's down to a 2v1. Skinny P, the hard support ace, hit a couple nice shots before. Has knowledge of the Freezer player, but do they know about where the location of the Elbow player is, or the Laundry player, rather, now who's sitting in the laundry closet?
It's all up to Skinny to be able to win this here for OverDrive. A lot of pressure on him. Are they going to be able to beat the infamous Anime, or shall they fall as other teams have?
His bullets and freezer come out, and Skinny P is trying to check off all the angles, but there's too many to look for, and eventually Baldra is going to find that final frag. I mean, what a performance by them. Overall, I think 20 kills on the map with a 4K in the very last round. Baldra just went crazy and really pulled their team through the mud. Skinny P, unfortunately, the bottom frag, that hard support player, doing their best, just not able to pick up those final 2 frags to secure the map.
What a game. We'll be doing interviews here in just a second. And we'll see y'all as soon as we get our interviewers.
Let's go!
Okay. Someone's a little excited.
Someone's excited.
Alright, it looks like we're going to be doing Baldra for the first interview on Anime. Let me get him in here really quickly. Not so quickly. Hey, Baldra. How'd you feel about that game?
You are muted, Mr. Baldra.
Oh, your server muted. Okay.
Nope. There he is.
Ah.
How'd you feel about that game?
We came in, we wanted to make playoffs, and we scrimmed 9 to 5. So shout out to F9, by the way. He's studying for his finals, and now he's shooting as well. He dropped a good like 4 kills. But honestly, we kind of trolled the bag. I'm not gonna lie, but that's okay. Yeah, we got our 2 points, and I guess we just need to keep hitting the scrims.
You were the star player there for Anime.
Mm-hmm.
Would you say so about yourself?
Honestly, I'm like really washed. I am terrible at this game. I haven't played competitive in like about like 10 years, or I don't even know how long, because I haven't been keeping track. But
Oh, 10.
my WAS stat my WAS. Can I cuss?
Uh,
I'm not gonna cuss.
to
It's okay. It's okay.
Probably
a little
not.
bit, not
Yeah,
too
Okay.
much
But
now.
probably not.
yeah. I'm just gonna say like it's embarrassing for them to lose to me. Uh, I've literally
Oof.
like always played Tarkov this week. I've been grinding Tarkov for like months. Shout out to all the Tarkov boys out there. But they should hit the scrims. That's all I'm gonna say.
Well, instead of playing Tarkov, you should have scrimmed me, just saying.
I'll think about it. I'll think about it.
Alright, Clems, do you have any questions for Baldra here?
Yeah, I mean, dropping 20 kills, obviously pretty important there, you could say the least. How does it feel to carry F9 through that game? Because Mans was struggling a little bit, and he's a good friend of mine, so I wanted to pick on him just a little bit.
Like I said, he was busy with work. You know, I'm not gonna give him too much crap because he never like does that bad on like Doe and One Tap and Arendelle. Just don't even talk. I don't even want to talk about those guys. Those guys are terrible.
Who's
They're worse than I
Arendelle?
am. Who's
Well, I
Arendelle? I
played
don't know.
I
Who
played you
does he
guys
like?
last week, so I wanted to
Does he?
I wanted to give F9 just a little bit of a troll on him, but
Yeah, no.
well,
But I mean, if you want to troll him, I don't know. I don't know what you can say about him. He's Canadian.
it's
I mean,
Canadian. Is
I know what we can say
Yeah,
about
that
him,
the
just
best
not on
way to
he
go
likes
stream.
at
his
him?
moose. He likes his meese. Moose.
It's Moose,
Mises?
Moose.
Yeah, his Mises.
Man, whatever the word is. Well, you guys won 8-7. I mean, it was a
Mhm.
close map, definitely closer than it probably should have been. A
It's
lot
a
of
good map to
rounds
watch.
tossed both sides, but it was good to watch. It was a good watch, and with the 20 kill performance from you, definitely marking something kind of special, I would say, because 20 bomb is something that you definitely don't
Is
see
that
every day
the most in this
in
league?
that map.
Do you guys know?
I'm I'm not too sure.
No, it's not. I
Oh
believe.
man.
Well, I
Yeah,
don't
show
know.
off
It
that
might
cross then.
actually be.
I dropped like 17 or 18 in a couple of games, but I don't know. I don't know about any 20s.
Mm.
So
Hey, have you played these people yet?
I played you guys. I think I played them. I don't know. I played
Hey,
you guys
well,
last week.
if you guys play these guys next week, just know, we can have a little competition, a little bet if you want.
Little competition. Okay, okay.
Horizon's already
Yeah,
played him.
That's good to
no,
know.
shout
You
out
might
Horizon.
I might have to
Anyways.
get that. Well, I think actually next week are playoffs. So
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I'm like
I
lost.
I think
I don't know.
OverDrive might be in the lower bracket.
All right. For point wise, I don't know where that leaves us, but we like I said, we trolled a little bit, but
Okay.
it was fun.
You
We
might as
were
well have
having a fun
fun
time.
when you're
Yeah.
up 6-1, or sorry, 5-1.
Hmm.
hey, it's all about having a good time, getting those interrogations off toe with the, just a little risky there, and able to
Uh,
find that interrogation, which secured a couple more kills. But
I'll I'll find some funny clips. There's a couple funny words being thrown out
there's
there. Let's
there's
get on
always
my
some good
Twitter.
clips. Okay, there you
Yeah.
go. You want
Yeah.
any socials you want to shout out? Any people you want to shout out maybe for this game?
Z1 Tap R6, I think. Doe R6. Arendelle R6 or just Arendelle. F9
At there and
FPS. My name, Boldura. Um, Shout out, I don't know, Pooch,
Shout out to your mom,
Pop
your
Dog
brother,
Pooch.
sister, father, if you have one.
You brought that yo
Uh,
mom joke in here. Hold on.
what do you want to know
All
about
right.
my mom?
Well, if we have no more questions, you have nothing to say, we can go ahead and move on to the next interview.
All right, have a good night,
Yeah.
kiddos.
Have a
See
good
ya.
night, Baldura.
All right. All right. All right. We'll get OverDrive wanted font. Okay. There we go. We got font in here now. How's it going?
A little heartbroken, but we'll get over it.
How'd you feel about that game?
I mean, we should have had the win. We had some mistakes, but we always got to prosper.
Y'all definitely weren't too heavy on the dronings during your first attacks there.
Yeah, we don't like the drone. We just go after it.
Oh, I mean, it started working towards the end, I'm not gonna lie.
Uh, yeah, but sometimes you just got to trust the instinct.
Yeah, I mean, it worked for a little bit until it didn't.
I mean, that's kind of how we play on the defense. We don't really use cams. We more go off of instinct, so it kind of just transitions over.
What are cams?
When we're playing defense, we don't really go off what we see on cams. We just go based off what we kind of infer.
Yeah, what are cams? I've never seen one of them before.
Yeah, I don't know either, man.
I get on those all the time once I get first pick trying to spawn peek or do something stupid. So I know
You know,
all about what a camera
believable.
looks like.
Yeah, I
Well,
think they're
you
kind of like circular.
well, you guys had a close game. I mean, you were down 1-5. What kind of flipped on that half to bring it back and bring the game eventually into OT?
I think it might have been the motivation from the clutch on the last attack around, and then just kind of because we know we have good defense. We know we kind of lack on the attacking, so kind of
Well,
just
I
had to bring
well
back
I've
on the confidence on it.
I've personally played against this anime roster before, and I know how aggressive they are on this map. Oregon, I played them last week, and they're super aggressive on their attacks. They like to just kind of run into sight, and you guys were able to stop them pretty easily for a lot of rounds on your defenses. Is there any insight you could give on like how you knew how they were taking or what their aggression was?
I mean, we kind of expected it from the way they kind of played on their defenses. They did peak a lot, so we kind of just expected them to play aggro.
Okay, cool. Well, you guys did secure a point for yourselves, and I believe that's able to send you guys into the playoffs. I'm not entirely sure what the points look like right now, but hopefully we'll see you guys next week. Is there anything else that you might have to ask Mr. Beams?
Nothing
Um,
else.
Is there anyone you want to shout out? Any players, teammates, mom, dad, sister, brother, cousin, like whoever you want to shout out? Go
I'm
ahead.
I'm
Twitter
I'm a shout
ads.
I'm a shout out Fizzle straight out of Omaha. Got to keep it alive.
All right.
All
Is that
right,
everything?
Yeah, that's about it, man.
that's
Wraps
All
it up.
all.
right. You have a good night. We'll see you.
All
Have
right.
a good rest of your night, Font.
That'll conclude our SFU stream today. If you had a nice stream, make sure you come back for more. We have a game tomorrow night as well. Anyways, that'll be it for SFU. Khan was our observer. I'm Beans. I was our caster. Our co-caster Klimp's here.
Thanks for hanging out, everyone. Appreciate y'all hanging out for SFU, and I believe there's a stream tomorrow, and then next week, look forward to playoffs.